say I'm lying. You can't do that.
I said to you.
Who are you? Are you God? You can't see my heart. If a man comes up and I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of no one but Allah. If I apologize to you, take my word for it, bro.
All I'm saying to you is,
why should I lie?
All I'm saying to you is,
why should I lie? Why should I lie?
I said to you, you're a grown man.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm a grown man.
Exactly.
If I had a problem with
What's
you,
my benefit lying?
if I had a problem, well, you lied to me because your thing is to spread Islam and to show it in the best way possible.
No, that's partially true. You know why? Because I admitted I was wrong in the way I did. You're right.
I'm just telling you.
At least I'm enough to admit
So
that.
now I am right.
No, listen. I admitted I was wrong. I had a part to blame in the whole conflict that happened. I admitted that, yes. And you still go up and say, I'm not being sincere.
I said
how more sincere can I get? I'm saying, yes, you're right, bro. Yes,
right,
you're right.
Let me make one last point.
I was partially
It is circular. Let me just make one last point. Okay. Now you said that. Now you said that. Now you said that. Now you said that. Yeah. I appreciate that, and I appreciate. No. I'm telling you how it came over. I'm telling you how it came over. Okay. Now you've said that. Now you've said that publicly. You understand? Now you've said. No. I'm telling you how it came over. Yeah, how it came over. I did because do you know what? Let me just say one more thing, because let me just get it off my chest. And I have to go back again. I really apologize. When you go back there, go back online, please, just for me. And after your apology, when I said I'm not going to accept it, look at my words and see where there were any accusatorial words. There were none. The only accusatorial words which did come, and I admit that they came, was after you made what I perceived was a threat. Yeah? And then I said, hold on a minute, then I said, anybody who threatens me, put their hands on me, I will destroy them utterly. That's exactly what I said. So if you're now telling me that you didn't mean it, you understand, and now I'm standing next to you face to face, yeah, as grown men, then I'll accept what you say. Yeah, but for me, in future, if I have a problem, yeah, it doesn't mean that you've got to be the same. Yeah, if I have a problem with somebody and I'm a grown man, do you know the first thing I'm going to do? As a grown man, I'm going to seek them out, find their number, yeah, and say to them, brother, I'm going to say, brother, we need to talk. You understand what I'm saying to you? Before this goes too far. But one of the things that I hate...
Would you say we're both emotional people?
I am completely emotional sometimes. Yeah?
I'm emotional.
Sometimes. But let me tell you what you've never seen. You've never seen me go bananas in here. You understand? Anything that you have seen has been in reaction to someone else. And do you know what's still not being resolved? You know what's still not being resolved? When you approach the Sarah situation has still not being resolved. Because let me tell you what I know, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to tell you what concerned me. I did put something up. I've taken everything down. There's a reason I've taken everything down. I said that I know as a statement of fact, about 3 weeks ago, I know as a statement of fact, yeah, which means there is no argument whatsoever, that there was a plan, yeah, to stab Sarah, yeah, but hold on a second, but you know this, yeah, I know you say you had nothing to do with it, yeah, hold on, no, you let me just please, so you understand what I'm saying, you don't, let me just finish, let me finish, because you don't understand what I'm saying, let me finish, listen, I said, I know you're going to say you had nothing to do with it, but that's not the point that I'm making. I'm saying that when an atmosphere, yeah, is created, an atmosphere, even though you've directly got nothing to do with it, yeah, even when you've got nothing to do with it, I received a telephone call from a Sunni Muslim brother telling me to tell Sarah, yeah, not to come to the park. It's a brother who comes to the park. And he said, and I said, why is that? He said, because he has heard that they plan to stab him up when he leaves the park.
That's why I want the police to de-escalate. But honestly, I feel that you're not helping. I feel that you're not helping.
Brother, I am totally helping.
You could have made, honestly, Big Boy, you could have made things easy. When I made the apology to you, honestly, you could have squashed them by just... I'm not saying you had to accept it, but the way you replied wasn't nice, honestly. Say that I'm a liar, I'm a hypocrite, I'm this, I'm that. Honestly, I wanted things to calm down.
Where's it done from there? Wasn't the line?
I have no reason to lie or make
Hamid, let me address that.
Go on.
I might as well. Can I first say one thing? This is the first time I'm speaking to you.
I don't know what you've got to do with it, but like if you want to say
Well, you
something.
actually addressed me here and now.
No. Can I just say to you, that's a bit unfair because what was said was the thing regarding Sarah, and I said that I watched your video whereby you said you deliberately did what you did.
We'll address it.
Was that true or not?
Let's address it.
Was it true?
Let's address it properly. I've been waiting under the sun like you to speak. Can I first say, yeah, everyone that's that, you know what, you yourself, yeah, I can see you lot are not cowards. You don't know that. You lot are not cowards.
Well, I respect everybody. I don't care. They could be 2 foot tall.
That's
I
cool.
respect
Listen.
them.
Now, Hamid has looked you in your eye as well, and he said to you, "You're not a coward." Yes? Now you're looking at me in my eye, and you're looking at Hamid in our eye. We don't go around bullying people, even though people are saying that kind of stuff online. Yeah. We're not cowards as well. You say that thing, so or not. That's your prerogative. Yeah. But we've not come with any threatening talk to you. Now, can I just say that for me, when I'm saying this, I know, but we addressed it. But we addressed it, innit? He spoke to you, he addressed it with you, he apologised, clarification, that's what
Alright, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Alright, look. What I see when I see you lot talking, and us standing here, it's like a bunch of lions fighting over a rabbit. And I'm sorry to, actually, I'm not sorry to say this.
Who is?
Sarah, yeah, without me taking it personally, this isn't personal, it's context now.
Why you not dislike this
You
brother
have,
so much?
let me speak. You can't condemn me if I haven't spoken. Let me speak. Yeah, please let me speak. If there's something wrong with what I'm saying, you can address it. That's all right. What I'm saying is this. There's a man who has riled up all of this together, yet it's everyone else around him talking about it. Where is he? Why is he?
Portugal.
Fair enough.
Family holiday.
Fair enough. He doesn't want to. Maybe he doesn't want to come here because there's been death threats on his name. Yeah, no problem. Fine, we give him that. But every time he addresses something online about the Muslims, the last video he did that I saw personally was completely despicable. Now I've seen you. I see the way you speak. You speak with eloquence. You speak well. I speak to the brother over here. Okay, I see him every now and then away from the corner. It's never anything other than hi, hello, how are you? Bye. That's it. Right? Cool. True. But Sarah, the one who's actually started all of this, he leaves everyone else to clean up his mess. Now I'll say this, look, to address the situation, that's not true.
Was to do with Saracen. No one ain't addressing Saracen.
Mike, I'm talking about from way.
I'm talking about situation which
now the last thing that I've
you
seen
to get upset, to get on saying to react to Sarah, yes? But Sarah is not the protagonist in that situation.
Alright, I'll tell you why Sarah is the protagonist. Sarah is protagonist.
Someone knows.
Let me address it for you not to know now.
I think you deliberately targeted Sarah.
Let me address it for you not to know. Let me address it for you to know.
I believe that you deliberately targeted Sarah.
Let me address it properly. Let me address it properly for you to know. Let me address it properly. Gary, please, Gary.
I'll take the potato.
Gary, please. Sarah, and this is for you to know, yeah? Since you've got Sarah's corner, no problem, yeah? And I've heard everything you've had to say.
I said that I'm on the side of truth.
So the side of truth. And you believe that Sarah's been the one that
speech.
said injustice done to him, yes?
No, I didn't say that.
Do you believe that I've done injustice to Sarah?
I said that your behaviour, because let me tell you, let me tell you how my mind works,
Go for it, please.
Whilst I can accept, Hamid saying what he said to me, and he sought to clarify that, that's fine. Let me take the problem I have with yourself, is that you actually clarified it on video yourself. So I'm going by your words. You said that you deliberately, said what you said because you wanted a confrontation.
What did I say?
You said that you wanted a confrontation, with Sarah. You said you deliberately did that. So if I'm telling the truth, please tell me what I'm saying is not true. You did say that. So why would you say that? Why would you do that?
Now, thank you. Now let's address it. I was speaking, and I've said this 10 times, but cool to yourself, no problem. I was speaking to a guy, he's leaving. He's a very timid guy. And he's leaving to go back to Oxford.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's going back to Oxford. And he's giving the last few words. Sarah comes up behind, and he goes, he's mocking him, this, that, and I can't stop. And I've turned to Sarah, and he's got the other guy with him, what's his name? That other Asian dude, what's his face? Answer. So I've turned to Answer first, and I've said, bro, please, if you don't mind, I've spoken to you before, and it's been cool. So like, alright, cool. As soon as I turn around, the second I turn around, and cameras carry on going, they both start sniggering together. And then I said to Sarah, because now my man's not listening, alright, I sent to Sarah, I said, Sarah, listen, this is my words, and I quote. This is the first time I'm addressing you personally, and it's on these kind of terms. Please, do you mind if I continue without any of this aggro in the background? And he goes, oh, do your thing, do your thing. I was like, thank you. I turn around, as soon as I did that, he starts sniggering again. I turned to him, I said, listen, you're a big man, stop. You're a big man, know yourself, mate. Like, this is the first time, and you're trying to aggro a situation up in it. You're trying to argue here, innit? So I turn around, I start talking, and he carries on, in the background. Yeah, I said, listen, you're making me feel like I'm gonna lash out in a minute. This is what I said, something along these lines. I did say this, and I'm saying it again on the camera. Yes, I said this. How I will lash out, you cannot take it to say I meant physically, but you cannot take it to say I went.
Sorry. Carry on.
That's kind of rude.
No, it's not. Carry on, I'm listening to you.
Kind of rude. Sorry, I'll wait. That's very rude.
Let's hold on 1 minute.
You say you appreciate
It's a
good manners.
different culture, don't worry.
Different culture.
I'm listening
It
to you.
always goes back to the culture thing. We're two men talking.
Okay, go on. That's rude.
That's rude.
I'm not your son. What do you mean it's rude? I mean, that's your opinion. I just said to you that
This is my
it's something
opinion.
urgent. Yeah, so carry on.
At least say sorry, Mohammed, give me a second, but no problem. No problem. Innit? Way to clarify things, right? Way to clarify things. So, that's how that sorrow thing started. And then as he said, radio silence, radio silence. The next time I come to the park, I seen him, he
does that
seen
mean,
me.
radio silence?
This is Sarah's words, not mine. It means that we didn't speak. This is Sarah's words. So for a couple of months we didn't talk. Yeah? Then all of a sudden a video goes up on Titans TV. Callum is addressing me firstly saying, oh yeah, there was a Muhammad from Guidance Avenue had to stop something from one of his brothers and it was a racial smell, something like this, and Muhammad from Guidance Avenue had to get involved to break it up, firstly. Alright, cool. Alright, Callum, fair enough, he said, alright, Muhammad was a peacemaker, no problem. However, it was on his channel. And then Sarah said, oh, actually, about that Muhammad from Guidance Avenue, be careful with him. He was frothing from the mouth. He's a savage, and he's a loose cannon, or this is that.
Who's he talking about?
About me. Now, for the past 2 months, actually, before this, you know, after that incident happened over there, I've just mentioned to you, every single one of my videos, I had to block Sarah. Because every single one of my videos, he copied and pasted, be careful with Muhammad from Guidance Avenue, he's a loose cannon, he's a savage, and he's frothing from the mouth. He's insincere, he's disingenuous, and I just blocked him. I didn't reply to nothing, I just blocked it. When I'd seen him in the park that 2 months, I never said nothing, never addressed nothing. And then he went and did this video, so I went up to Callum. And I said to Callum this, I said, listen, firstly, why did you put this video up? What's your stance in the park? He said, I am general, I oppose a general stance. I said, it's sorry, your boy.
Just 1 moment, please.
No problem.
Yeah, take me up from the same gate, yeah? Yeah. When you've done that, yeah, when you've done that, yeah? Just call me first, please, yeah?
So I said to Callum, what is your stance in this situation? Because you put me on air, and I heard what you said, but I don't know if you had some kind of plan going on with Sarah. He said, Mohammed, I pose a neutral stance. I said, cool. I said, is Sarah your boy? He said, no, Sarah is not my boy. I said, is Sarah your buddy? He says, no, Sarah is not my brother. I said, cool. He said, Sarah, this is Callum. Yeah, this is Callum. So I said, cool. From then on, me and Callum didn't talk until that incident. What happened the next week is when he, all right, how I aggravated him out, because I wanted Sarah to come up to me. I said to him, listen, tell your boy I want to chat to you.
Who said that? You said that?
I said that. I said, tell your boy I want to chat to him. He said, what? I said, tell him he's a batty boy. Tell him that I want to chat to him. Tell him to come with YMCA, I want to chat to him. Yes, I said this. I said this. Because I was very upset. But nevertheless, putting emotions aside, I wanted him to confront me because I wanted to speak to him. Like, why are you bringing stuff up when like things have been deaded? You spoke online about me. Now, then when he come over there, you see now he come up to me. The first thing I said to him when he come up to me, I said, listen, not on your cameras. Turn off your cameras. He doesn't want to do that. As you said, and very rightfully so, and I agree with you, we are Muslim, we come to the park, we have to give da'wah in a correct manner. And if there are discrepancies in the way that we behave, we shouldn't ascribe and attribute it to Islam, because it's verily not Islamic teachings, it's the misrepresentation.
You realise that's cognitive dissonance, don't you? Yeah, on one hand, you just said that in the beginning, yeah, you wanted to do X, Y, Z. On the other hand, you've then just said that, hold on a minute.
You're missing the point.
No, I'm telling you about cognitive dissonance, because you're now saying, what you're going to say is that your actions shouldn't reflect in any way on Islam. However, you're here as a Muslim speaking about Islam, so ergo, it points out that your behaviour.
Let me say something. One second, let me say something.
Pardon?
One second.
No, but he was deliberate. He said he went over and he said, tell that batty man. He said, tell that batty man I want to chat to him. Now, just now you said to me that certain language is not right, because what it does, this is what you just said. You said that it doesn't de-escalate a problem. So when you're going to go up to another grown man and you're going to say, tell that batty man to come here, what do you think's going to happen? Do you think he's going to like you?
He might react.
Pardon?
Yeah, he might react.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially if he's not a batty man.
That's exactly right.
How about?
I don't agree with that.
How about? All right, look.
What don't you agree
Wrong
with?
with me.
The whole batty man
It's
stuff.
called acting.
Oh, you don't agree with it?
It's called
Because
acting.
I know he was acting. I know.
Exactly. He's also acted as a
Did you not pick that up on camera? That Hamid said he didn't agree with that. Oh, okay.
No one should be starting.
Can I continue?
Yeah, it should be fair.
Can I continue?
What's going on?
Anyway, so when he comes up, so now
Just to hear that.
So it's come from 2 months. It's come from 2 months of him just copying and pasting comments about. And well, me on the comment section, I'm not there. I'm invincible in the comment section. I don't comment. Thank you. Comment, like, and subscribe. I keep it soft and sweet. That's it. I don't go into no politics in the comment section. So for him to do that, I thought was very like, don't poke the lion. Like, I'm behind the cage, don't poke me, expecting me to bite and then say, oh, look at the lion's teeth. Why are you doing it? So anyway, so you didn't address that point. But anyway, so he come to me.
I didn't address what point? You're poking.
No, yeah, the fact that he's come up to me when I'm with this guy here and he's sniggering in the background, the fact that he's gone all of these comments on line number 2, the fact that on Titans TV on a live 2.5-hour video he starts bad mouthing me. Like, why are you doing why all of
You know, in the
that?
beginning, because you said I didn't condemn it, you understand? When I spoke to Hamid earlier on, and I spoke about certain language, and I said that certain language will cause me, and others who amongst us to have a private conversation with somebody. But let me just say this to you, that's regarding what might be considered inflammatory language, you understand, in a religion. That's completely different to what you're speaking about. Because when I watch content over everything, there's a guy called Uncle Jamal. Yeah, for me, Uncle Jamal is the funniest guy in the park, because what he does, he knows how to troll people. Yeah, he knows how to troll people. He knows how to heckle, but he does it. Yeah, with a great spirit in him. Yeah, and he does it with charm. What you're saying is that you didn't like somebody in the first instance, you didn't like somebody standing and sniggering, when you were talking. This is how children behave. You understand? Because you had the choice to ignore him. Yeah, and you could have said, you know what, he's an idiot. You understand what I'm saying to you? And carry on about your business. But what you did, you fell for the trolling. You understand? You fell for it.
Point taken. Let me contextualize it. It was raining and everyone was around this bit here. We moved over there. A few cameras followed. We moved over there. That's why it happened. He followed us, and the only time he began to speak was when the cameras were rolling and I was talking. He didn't like it. Now, little did I know, it was around this point that his uncle, mashallah, took his shahada. I didn't even know about this until that week that the aggro happened over there, because I spoke to his uncle myself. I had no idea. Maybe he was a bit angry and he had some kind of passive aggression in him because of that situation, and I was oblivious to it. But nonetheless, has anyone here, I'm not sure yourself, have you yourself seen me aggravate a situation with any other man other than Sarah?
Well, let me tell you what I have seen, since you asked me the question. I've seen you mock people, when they're speaking. Well, no, I'm just telling you. You've asked me the question, I've seen you. There was a point. You're just over here. You asked me. I've seen you on 3 or 4 occasions. You understand? Mocking people. But let me tell you what I call that. I call that heckling. Which people are fully entitled to do. Now, when, and see if I can now have Hamid as a witness. When I was speaking over there with Hamid, when I was speaking with Hamza, Hamid came over with another guy, you understand, and they were yapping in the background, and they were talking in the background. Ask him if at any time I turned around and faced him. Because you know what? I didn't. And within about 5 minutes, they gave up and they went. Because what they were doing, they were heckling and they were mocking. What people do when they heckle and mock you is they try to get a reaction out of you. After a while, even the funniest guy in the world who is heckling and mocking, if nobody responds to them, do you know what they've got to do? They've got to give up and go and heckle and mock someone else. So you're saying then, if I get this right, that you were thrown off balance by Sarah heckling and mocking you, the exact same thing that I've seen you do on 3 or 4 occasions at the park. Okay.
Can I just say something?
But don't invite.
No, it's okay. I'm going to say that I agree with what you said to a father.
Okay.
But the problem is that where do you draw the line? For example, I personally believe that we should have mocked each other. Even though we heckle, like you said, Jamal, he does look for a class, he does it funny, yeah? But what about, for example, when people are accused of being bad or terrorists, or savage, backward? Is this acceptable, do you believe, or should we just walk away from that as well?
Let me just say to you, and I'll answer that, and I'll answer that truthfully. Earlier on, you said, that you said to me that you are emotional, and I seem emotional too. And I said to you, yes, you're right. You understand? And I also said, as a man, you understand, as a man, some men, not men who are stroke, other men, they're very vengeful. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, that's exactly right. And we're very vengeful as well. And when you become vengeful, don't get me wrong, we all want to be erudite, and we all want to come over in the best way in which we can. But when you feel that you are being attacked, you will draw for the weapons that you feel you can use to harm the people who are attacking you in a way that you believe is unjust. You understand what I'm saying to you? So, on that basis, I believe that your behavior to me was unjust. Yeah, that's what I believe. And I thought to myself, well, I'm coming to this park because if this man's going to say he's going to come up in my face, I'm not waiting for him. You understand? I'm going to go up in his face and hear what he's saying. But if your argument is that do I believe terms like batman and terrorists and blah 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 are these good terms? Well, I'm not a hypocrite. I say in front of the camera. Of course they're not good terms. And in a normal situation, would those terms be used? No. Are they wounding terms? Yes. Yeah. Do you normally want to wound people? Do you know 10 seconds. Should you really want to wound people in that way? No. So now I've made that clear.
So big bro, do you then agree do you then agree with me? The same way I accept I was at fault for the way I approached you, for calling you Uncle Tom, for the way I approached Sarah, do you then agree that your reaction, your reply didn't help him, calling me a terrorist, savage, that was backward? Do you agree with me?
I agree to the extent that if you just look at that, as a singular time, then I would agree with you. But if you look at it from the context that there was what I perceive, to be a threat to me physically, and then when somebody stays on video and says, and just to let you know, you've got nothing to fear from me, I'm going, what? I've got to come down to the park. You understand? Because the man saying he's got to say it to my face. You understand? It was said, hold on 1 second. It was said within that context. If you're saying to me now, with the situation completely calm, you understand, and there is a discussion going on here, was that the wisest choice of language, then I can look in your eyes and say probably no, it wasn't.
Bro, you know what it is, man?
I've admitted it.
This whole thing is honestly such a trivial matter that's been blown out of proportion.
But that's gone. Let me
the whole thing is a little bit, bro.
The fact to kill someone isn't. That's a big matter to me.
The things we said in the comment section.
I had a threat against me though.
We went back and forth with you, okay?
I had a very difficult
look, things are said behind keyboards, and it's mainly mind games. Just do mind games. Let's be honest. Yeah. If I make friends,
until it gets to physical friends.
No, but obviously, look, bro. The thing is this. Look, I use my phone. I honestly, the things that I said to you about, I'm going to be in your face, I swear by Allah, I did not mean physically I'm going to do something to you. I meant that it will be physical, it will be heated, but never intended that I'm going to harm you in any way. Nothing like that, honestly. I swear by Allah, if I'm not Allah personally, yeah, I wouldn't lie if I say that to you. You understand? Obviously, I understand. If I was you, maybe that's how I would interpret it.
You're not an idiot. You're not an idiot. And you understand the English language.
Yes.
And you understand.
It's mind games.
You understand.
I'll be honest. It's just mind games. Look, you used to be a fighter. I used to be a fighter. Before a fight, what do you do with your opponent? You play with his psychology. You're trying to wind him up. That's what I was doing.
My psychology was fine.
No,
anyway, let's just move on because
I'm saying, look, things are said.
Mohammed wanted to say something very
sorry, go on.
Finish your point and I'll
I was going to say, look, that things were said back and forth in the conversation, which really the whole thing is just trivial matter.
That's the reason why I said, you know what?
I will say to you
nobody's
again,
not getting any ounce,
that's fine.
any ounce of air out of me.
That's fine.
You understand?
But,
because I'm a big man, I don't play them games.
Fair enough. But now the question next to ask, how do we go from here? What do we do now? I mean, do you still perceive me to be someone who's insincere, someone who's a hypocrite? Do you still think that I was insincere in my apology? I mean, where do we go from here? Do we just carry on the way we were? Or because I'm more than happy to say to you again, I apologize to you for making me press to you, for calling you unperform. I'm more than happy to squash you.
Can I accept that? I accept that.
Take the message sincere.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Alhamdulillah.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Okay, said to my face.
Oh no, I'm going to play that every year now. Let me finish though.
You said you wanted to finish your point.
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
So going back to that point, so after all of that aggravation, I've gone over there, he's a 10 man with his outfit on. Bro, do you know how I see it? I see it like this, man. Say for example we are Brits, and we are building houses of brick. Sarah built a house of bricks. I'm sorry, the way I learned in my life is don't target someone weaker than you, yeah? But never ever trust anyone except a man.
Do you think it's possible that we speak to Sarah as well?
Can we talk to Sarah in person?
You see, let me just say this to you. See, I'm not Sarah's spokesman, but I'm Sarah's brother. And whilst
Do you think he will accept to speak to us in person?
whilst I will say, but do you know the thing is, genuinely speaking, if I was Sarah, I wouldn't talk to you. Yeah, and I think that. Yeah. The thing is,
The reason why we're talking is squashing.
can I just say to you,
Why did he go on Titans TV and start bad mouthing me?
what though?
Is it squash when it's every day just not even copy and paste?
Hold on.
Squash talking bad about me and I'm just standing there
I
taking
believe
it.
that if we squash with Sarah, he will calm down. If he feels safe when he comes down
Can I
here,
just say to you,
then he won't say some of the things that he does.
You know the thing is, and like, this is where, and every Muslim that I've spoke to at the park, no matter how reasonable, I always find myself having to say this, and do you know what that is? Once I understand what you say, your view is subjective. Yeah, meaning when you say you want him to calm down, you don't want him to say what you don't like.
No.
You understand what I'm saying to you? Because that's what it means.
Let me address this.
Does anybody else understand my point?
Do you not say
See, there's more than intimidation.
You use those different words, yes or no? Do we have any problems with you? You say the same thing.
This is my way.
It's wisdom.
Legally, I have to speak this way.
Wisdom. That's what it is.
No,
You
sir.
apply wisdom.
Sir,
The same way you apply wisdom.
Sir,
Let me apply
and
wisdom.
I've also pointed out to you that Sarah is a grown man. Yeah, it's a grown man. And should I tell you one of the things that really concerned me? To be honest with you, you know the same way in which you say that there are mind games. There are certain things which are put out. I said to you, this is the reason why I would say to Sarah, not to me, yeah, because there is a lack of trust and a lack of genuine people around. And I'll tell you what I mean. I pointed out to you that a Sunni Muslim brother down here called me on my phone. And you know what was funny as well? About 3-4 weeks ago, I said, isn't it funny? Because there was a discourse over there. And I said, I want somebody to support what I'm saying. Now there's 5 or 6 of these Sunni brothers here who have my telephone number. And when I turned around to say, like, you know, I want one of you to support me. It was a case of like, and they all turned my back. And that, let me tell you, that more than anything taught me a massive lesson, because what they will do, they will have conversations with me outside of this park. They will call me outside of this park. But when I asked them, when I was speaking truthfully, and I said, I want one of you brothers to support me. 5 or 6 of them have my number. Not one of them supported
Maybe
me.
they didn't want their identity right?
Exactly.
What you can call it whatever.
Should you not take half that glass of water and appreciate what they gave you in the first place?
That's another way of looking at it. Yeah, so I'm not going to wrong that. That's
Because of that, you didn't come to the parking lot.
no, I've accepted what you just said, yeah, I accept that point. But let me tell you what concerned me more than anything else. I posted up, when I heard from that brother, yeah, this is no word of a lie, you understand? I called someone who's in the park today, yeah, and if there is a God, I will swear on him. And let me tell you this, I said, you hear that these guys then were planning to stab Sarah, not in this part here, they were going to stab him when he was getting out of the gate. Now, he had also heard this from somebody else, who I heard from 100%. I said, now you imagine this. Now you imagine this. When I put that up, I didn't hear you. Yeah, with the greatest respect, I didn't hear you or anybody else condemn that.
Because I didn't hear it from you, I heard it from someone else. I honestly can't remember.
Oh, so that means then that I'm not making it up.
No, I know, I've heard it before.
Wow.
But bro, that's why I wanted to squash things.
Right, now, listen to me now.
But bro, why do you think I want to squash things?
Can I just say to you, I don't dispute that.
I didn't want him to be hurt.
I don't dispute that, but until you told me that just now, I wasn't even aware that you knew.
I knew.
Yeah?
Yes,
I'm just telling you. Until 20 seconds
I never
ago.
heard you. I didn't know that you know.
Well, hold on a second.
I didn't know that you know.
I am telling you.
I didn't know that you know.
Oh, sir.
Until you just said it.
No, imagine that.
Yeah.
He didn't know that I know.
Yeah.
I heard from his Sunni Muslim brother.
Yes.
You understand? Who phoned me and told me to make sure Sar don't come down because they're
Not all
going
the Muslims in the park in synchronicity.
No, I accept that. Yeah, that goes without saying. But that's not the point that I'm making. But the point is, even though they're not in synchronicity, Sarah heard that, he heard that, I heard that. He wasn't aware that I knew that he knew, and he wasn't aware that I knew. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? But it was clear that that was going around, that they are going to stab somebody whose view they don't like. It was that point where I said, well, what is the difference then? Because for me, it's a free speech issue, because Sarah is easily dealt with. Yeah, if you're a Muslim, yeah, if I was in the Muslim Ummah, somebody like Sarah is easily dealt with. Do you know how it is? Sarah is speaking over there, us Muslims, we will speak over here. That's the end of it. But it goes beyond that, because if we're now talking about, because when you stab someone, unless you are a surgeon, you don't know where you stabbed them. I know someone who got stabbed in the thigh and lost his life. And there is no, the point that I'm making is, the point that I'm making is that you can't tell me the person who stabbed someone in the thigh deliberately killed them. Do you understand? It wasn't. It was a punishment thing and so on and so forth. So you can lose your life. And so I pointed out online that they had threatened to kill this man, and I heard nothing until today. You didn't mention it on online. You've just mentioned it today.
I didn't even know that you knew about it. Because I heard it. The thing is this. Because I didn't mention it in the video, because it's for me it's unconfirmed. It's unconfirmed, and I cannot put something out which is unconfirmed. At least I know for 100% that's going to go down. I would say clearly. I will even call the police. Listen, tell the guy don't come out.
Can I just say to you? I'm not trying to be funny. I already know who's going to do the stabbing.
You know?
Look, of course I don't. Until we know for 100% and it's confirmed, I won't be able to say anything.
Okay, well, there you go.
We use the same words.
Well, that's the thing, bro. Look, you obviously, because you suspect something with your brother, of course you have to protect him somehow. But you have to believe it when I say to you.
No. That's unfair, Hamid. Because I pointed out to you earlier on, it's a free speech issue. I said that if a Muslim, if a Jew, if an atheist, you understand, wanted to make a point at the park.
All I'm saying is tone it down.
Yeah, but hold a second, Hamid. I've just said to you,
Be like Gary, use your words.
you're making the
Can I just say to you,
people are different. Look, can I just say to you, do you know what? Gary speaks differently to me. Gary has a sense of humour that I could only wish I could have. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Because it's different. He disarms you in a completely different way than me. It's because we're different types of speakers. And I'm saying, and Sarah's different too. And if what you're saying is, because this is dangerous, I can agree with everything that you and Hyde says. Everything, unless there's one thing. The one thing, Hamid, and the one thing is that you want to decide how somebody reacts to what you believe.
I'll tell you what it is. Look,
After this, let me
lost it. We have to understand people watching us. Yeah? We have two camps. We have hot-headed youth from our side, Muslims. Some guys from hot-headed youth from our side.
I think the hot-headed youths are guided by you lot. The older lot. The older lot. Not you personally, the older lot. That's what I believe.
What I'm saying is that when people are watching, they can see the
Did you send me a message? Did you send me a message saying to me, big bro, guess what? No, I'm just saying to you, yeah, because you said loads of stuff, yeah, just like I did. But did you send a message to me saying to me, big bro, tell Sarah to be careful at the park because I've heard he's going to be stabbed.
I would have if I had your number. But I can't put that online. I can't. You have to understand. I can't.
You tell Kennington.
It's unconfirmed. You tell anybody.
You got Kennington's number.
Did you tell anybody?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. But because we got caught up in this whole Hyde Park comment section.
Did you tell Callum that?
No, I didn't tell him. So it's unconfirmed.
So you didn't tell anybody?
Yeah, but even if it's
Can I just say to you, everything is unconfirmed until it's
I
confirmed.
understand.
I mean, when you want to see stabbed,
It starts. Look. The thing is this.
Hypocrisy. There really is.
Look,
It is no
you're not being fair.
Sir, can I just say this?
What I'm saying,
I heard, let me tell you this. You see, as much as I've argued with you, yeah, if I heard, yeah, that somebody was going to stab you up, you understand, may God be my witness, you understand, I would have sent somebody down to your mosque, I would have gone around and I would have made sure that you knew about it. You understand? Because you know what? There's a difference between not liking somebody, talking at Hyde Park, and then somebody dying, and then somebody dying. So I would have told you.
Sarah has not come down to the park for a couple of weeks, right? He's not
He's
come
on
down.
holiday.
Okay, he hasn't been there for a couple of weeks.
Because he's on holiday.
So meanwhile, what my intention was is to defuse the situation. That's it. And then when he came down here, our
Sir,
plan,
you understand the point,
I understand what
You're
you're
not
saying.
stupid.
I understand what you're saying. My plan was, look, defuse the situation, let the people see that things have calmed down. You understand? That I was hoping would calm whoever intended to harm Sarah, calm him down as well.
No, can I just say to you, that's not true. Let me tell you why it wouldn't calm you down. Because Tahid said about 15 minutes ago that with the stuff that Sarah said, he said that Sarah posted something up online on Sarah 4 and he said it was completely out of order, yeah, and it was a slur on the Prophet. Yes, that's exactly what you said. So we know then that the threats are not going to go away. My only argument to you is, and I'll point it out again, you heard that he was going to get stabbed. I did. Other people did as well. Because you know sometimes that type of news really, really troubles. So then you say to yourself, how then is this going to be dealt with? Is this going to be dealt with by everybody going to jail? You know, some people being killed? I'm just asking you. Because people have an opinion that you don't like. You understand? Sarah has a right to his opinion. Just like you have a right to dissect his opinion. What you don't have a right to do is to say, if you say this, I'm going to do that, because then that goes over from Speaker's Corner into gangsterism.
That's how it came across.
The first person that brought the gangsterism into this whole situation
That was you.
Look, that's how it came across. I agree. It came across that way.
not a gangster.
But the main issue, my main objective was to but because I perceived you to be unwilling to do that, and to be honest, the way you replied back didn't help it. It didn't help.
Because I didn't accept your apology.
It made it worse. It made it worse.
But it has happened.
Yeah, but now it's been done and dusted anyway. I'm glad. Well, please.
Look, I'm not here to justify myself. I'm not here to justify myself. You have a wrong in way. But I know that.
Yeah, but you know what we were talking about though, because we said we'd finished with that, yeah, and we had finished. Actually, you just mentioned the Sarah thing, and all I'm saying is that you guys say you want to talk to Sarah. Now, let me tell you why I'm concerned. Because
I'm not really too fussy about it. I'm just saying that if he was, I actually said this to Leon behind the camera. I said to Leon behind the camera, I said about a month ago, I'll tell you what happened. About a month ago, I did an interview with Leon or whenever it was, whatever. So I got all of that off my chest. The reason why I did this video, originally, I did do this video with Mohammed Hijab about the 3 options and whatnot. I went off to give a conference abroad. Mohammed Hijab and Sarah bumped heads in a park, so he spoke about it. I spoke to Mohammed Hijab, he said, bro, listen, there's no point of me putting out the video of me and you now because I've already spoken. Do your own thing. I said, cool, I'll do my own thing. So I went and did my own thing. When that video went out now, bro, yeah, I left it. I was waiting for Sarah's reply. He goes to me. He put a message down in the COE video of that video, and he says, "Oh, Mohammed, he needs to be wearing he should be in a pillow house or something because he seems like he's not schizophrenic, not paranoid, bipolar." Even though I've seen a video of him actually saying that he believes he's bipolar, but nonetheless, putting that all aside, I left it after that, bro. Yeah, I left it completely. I even came to Sarah before I put up that video. I came to him here. Gary was there. Gary can confirm if I'm saying it's truth or not, yeah? And I came to him in a non-threatening way to begin with. And I said to him, Sarah, please, do you mind if me and you just go over there and just talk alone? Just as when I went to Callum, originally people were coming to film, I said, no, please. Yeah? Respect can confirm that. Gary was there and I said, please can I touch you on why? I wanted to say to Sarah, please can you stop these videos in your car? You slagging me off all the time saying I'm a coward, I back down. So he didn't do that. So that's when some people started pulling me off. I was pushing them away from me. It looked as if I was in that kind of holding back situation. I'm not that guy, bro.
Brother, listen.
Go on.
You said I was there.
Yes, go on.
Now, tell me to go to your life. Now this is Ramadan, yes? Yes. You said that you would break your fast right now to go 10 bells of Sarah. Did you say that?
Now take the context. Gary,
no, I know.
Gary,
but you did say
Gary, if you know, Gary, address the
calming you down.
If you know, Gary, address the context of everything before.
I know.
Why did I say?
there.
No. Why did I go to this point? Why?
Okay.
Why is that not addressed? Why is it always spotlight when you see me break a sweat?
Okay, cool.
Why is there no spotlight on what aggravated me? Yes, I was aggravated. Listen. Look, I'm talking to the camera. Listen, me and you, we've never had a confrontation. Me and you never had a confrontation. AR23, Michael, me and him had a conversation and we shook it off. We had it out. We spoke like men. We had Ebony and Ivory playing in the background. It was all banter. It was all fun and games and laughter. Yeah? I'm not the kind of guy that goes around saying that I'm some anything, bro. With Sarah, no problem, brother, no problem. With Sarah, he aggravated the situation. He did. Wallah, he did. He aggravated it. When he came up to me, when I said to him, come and talk to me alone, he came with a camera on, with COE's camera on. This is before I knew Leon and his team, yeah? With COE camera on, hooded up, with gloves on, coming up to me. Like, he's bad. Listen, he can do that again if he wants. Like, I don't fear, just like Hamid said, I'm going to say the same thing. I fear no man but Allah. I'll say to the cameras again, this is wallahi, this is not to make myself look bad. I believe that Sarah is a blatant coward, and what I'm saying to you is this: bear man like you, bear man like let me finish, please, bro. Yeah, please. Thank you so much. Bear man like you, Michael here. When I see you, I look at you in your face. You're not cowards, and a man can tell a man, unless you can stand there and tell me, Mo, you're a coward. I'll say, alright, cool. If you think I'm a coward, you think I'm a coward. Yeah, but Sarah is a coward. And we are all fighting. It's like, you know what it's like? It reminds me of old school tribes in Arabia or in Africa or anywhere in the world that fight over women and respecting their honor. If he's a big man, the way people keep saying he's a big man, then why doesn't he come? Look, bro, I'm telling you now, wallahi, if Sarah comes, I will talk to him gently, with respect and honor like a man. Wallahi, he doesn't want that. He doesn't want it, bro. You know when you come, when you talk, wallahi, I see sometimes you talk with a passion and with some sincerity in what you're saying. He doesn't do that, bro. He comes, he puts a video on when he knows that I will address him. He wants to fight me. He wants to come and say, I will fight him in a car park. You're saying that just like what you said, yeah, that you're not going to get any incriminating evidence of you to go and do some law against the law in a car park. I went up to him after that and I said, listen, leave your cameras aside. Let's talk like men, innit? And he doesn't want that, bro. He puts a video up and says, Mo's a coward. If I'm a coward, where are you? Like, why are you standing? I'm telling you, the guy that you are defending, you are a man. You are a man. He's a man. I'm a man. We are all men. Sarah's not a man.
Can I just say to you? Let me just say to you. First and foremost, I defend your right to have any opinion that you want of Sarah, and that's fine because that's your subjective opinion of Sarah. However, let me just say this: there are different types of war, and there are different types of cowardice. The person that you described, Sarah, as, I don't see that person because now this is my opinion, even though it's subjective. Let me tell you what I see. I see a clever man, a man who is married, a man who has 2 children, a man who has responsibilities, a man whose responsibilities include paying his bills, putting food on the table and ensuring that his children have a father to come home to at night. A little bit of what you're speaking about, with the greatest respect, sounds a little bit like when we was at school. Somebody said this, so let's meet round the back of the bike park so we can have a fist up. That works when you're 16, 17, 18. Hey, hear me a second, I mean. When you're 36, when you're 35, 36, and you're trying to enable a 36-year-old married man with 2 children to come out to put his best interest to one side to fulfill what you believe is your perception of a man. You understand? I believe that's where you're mistaken. I don't believe that Sarah is a coward at all. In fact, I know as a statement of fact that he is not a coward. This is where the danger lies. Yeah? And hear me out a second. Because you perceive him to be a coward, and 1 or 2 other people may well perceive him to be a coward. Let's just say, for example, that he is not a coward, and you're not a coward, and then a clash comes. What's going to happen? Let me tell you what's going to happen. One person probably lives injured, the other person probably dies for his injury. The person who lives goes to prison, probably is going to have to do a minimum of 25, you understand, whilst he's in jail. He loses any ability to be free again in this life, to be a father if you're not married yet, to have the ability to be married, to have the ability to have children. So when we have to be very careful when we have all of this YouTube stuff. This is the reason why I scrubbed my stuff, because I saw where this was going to go, and not just from me. What I saw was that there were other people who loved me who would have taken separate action, which I would never have supported under no circumstances. In fact, there was one guy when we was over with Hamza, and he came and there was 3 or 4 of them, and he said, "It's okay, bro. It's okay, big bro. We're with you when it kicks." And I went to them. And you watched in the camera. I said, no. We deal with this intellectually, yeah, because the fighting thing is too easy. So when you're going to be, there's a cognitive dissonance with you, Mohammed. I'm telling you the truth, because you can't on one hand be saying that, you know what, I'm prepared to have a discussion with Sarah, and yet in the next breath, well, I'm telling you, and I'm going to look at the camera, and he's a coward, and he's blah, blah, blah. Brother, that's the reason why not only would he not have a conversation with you, I would advise him not to have a conversation, because there is too much emotionalism in this, and then it's going to kick off. Nobody who's intelligent, wants it to kick off.
I agree with something you said. Look, I believe very, very clearly. Look, of course, what I give off from YouTube, of course I've got a personal life as well, and I am the boss of what I give off on YouTube and what I give off YouTube. Yeah? Now, there is part of my personal life that many people don't know here, but that's fine. What I will say is this. A man who looks after his children and his family, his wife, the women in his family,
He's a man.
He is a man. No one says no. If Sarah does that, he's a man. You're a man.
You know that he does that.
And I salute.
You know that he does that.
I promise you. One thing. You know on this point.
You don't know.
Wallahi. Wallahi.
You do know that. You do know that.
We don't know anything about him.
Hold on.
There's been enough facts on him.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah expose me if I was the propagator or I had anything to do with the propagation or any knowledge on the phone calls or the threats or the emails or anything to do with the Sarah situation. However, he was audacious enough online to say it was Muhammad from Guidance Avenue that had, and do you know what's so funny about it? Wallahi, do you know the first time I heard about it was when it was said, when the accusation came my way. Not even when it happened, not when the crime happened, when the accusation was pointing at me. Bro, listen, as I just said, I'm going to come out and say it again, Sarah, if you look after your family, you look after if you do have a wife and you look after your wife and you do have children and you look after them, you're a man. Then for that, he's a man. The reason why I said, the reason why I said the guy is a coward is this.
Which is a precursor.
No problem. All right. He doesn't know him personally. Because I don't know him personally.
But you know his uncle. You know the situation.
I will never ask a man's business to another man. From another man. No problem. I'll take your word for it. One thing I will say is this, look, the reason why I say he's a coward, and I'll still stand to say he's a coward, he's a man with his family. The reason for that, bro, the reason that I say this is because the guy came hooded up, ready to fight. Don't come with the camera and turn it off and then give me one in my face and I'll give you my opportunity. Fight me like a man without the cameras, without the YouTube. If not, sorry, I don't mean
You're the one that made the threat, though, Tahi. You're the one that made the threat.
I never made a physical threat. I never made a physical threat. I never made a physical
You said that. I heard you say it. I didn't say that. You said that you deliberately pulled him out. Yeah, you deliberately wanted a reaction. Sir, all I'm saying to you
what did I say?
is, you said
I made a physical threat. I made a threat, but it wasn't physical.
What was the threat then?
I said you make me feel like I'm gonna lash out. That could be verbal. It could be physical. Legally, it could be anything. All right, bro. Listen. No, but listen. If I went in court, if I said lash out, I couldn't mean verbally. Has he not lashed out verbally against me on videos? Has he not lashed out through writing on videos? Do you understand? So why physical when it comes to the Arab with the beard?
Hold on, 1 minute.
When it comes to the Arab with the beard, it's
1 minute. Let me just say to you.
And then he puts out videos and he says I'm a coward.
Hold on, you need to calm down a second, yeah? Let me tell you also what you did, yeah, just so we're very clear, because you're saying that the man's a coward. You then went and you made a video, and you also gave him 3 options. You understand? This is what you did. I'm asking you if and when you do that, bearing in mind how it started, I'm saying, do you then as a Muslim say then, with that behavior, that you're following the Surat al-Mustaqim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? I'm just asking you.
No problem.
Yeah?
What I will say, Prophet, I'm going to ask you. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he had intestines of animals thrown on him, he was spat on, he had stones thrown on him from the children by instruction of their parents, and he never retaliated the way I retaliated on something petty. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only give us the patience and the insight into being closer to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I am very religious man, and I have not been given revelation from Allah. My heart was not cleansed when I was a child from Malaika, from the instruction of Allah, and I am not on the same level as Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even from brain. What I will say, bro, is that, as I said in the beginning, I am very, very clear to say that for me to have lashed out like that, I'm sure Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam wouldn't have done. Yeah?
But sir,
so
you made a video.
Just addressed you.
Yeah, but you made a video. But you know what you keep
why
doing?
I did that video? Do you know why I did that video?
No, it's not, this is important.
You know, bro,
you're making excuses.
Can I say something? This whole thing started between us and Saul. Look what we're getting.
No,
Where is he? Where is he?
No, you think it's Sarah,
Men are
but
fighting.
it's not
Men are
Sarah.
fighting for
It's not
power.
Sarah.
Look,
Do you know why? It's a free speech issue.
I understand.
Because I've seen people try to intimidate
I know.
Ty and disrespect Ty. No, but hear me a second. Hear me.
Happens to me.
They tried
I know keep calm.
to intimidate and threaten physically Ty. Now say what you like. No, but I have. But say what you like about Ty. Ty has a very unique way of speaking. Is it my way? No, I'm just saying to you. I know you can say Ty is rude, and you have a right. No, but hold a second. I am leveling. No. He has a different way.
To be or not to be.
He has. Let me tell you. Can I just say to you? For me, Ty's one of the brightest guys in the park. Now you might not see it. And you have a right not to see it. I'm telling you what I see. I think that Ty is 3 or 4 levels ahead of what anybody is in the park. I could only wish to have the knowledge that that guy has. Some people may say, well, we don't like the way in which he speaks. And I get that, because it's like Marmite. Either you like it or either you don't. But what is it about Ty? We have never seen Ty threaten anybody. We've never seen him, just give me 10 seconds please, Ty. We've never seen him physically threaten anybody. We've never seen him intimidate anybody. So why then was somebody like Ty threatened? I know you think this is about Sarah, but it's not. It's about free speech. Because when somebody like Ty has to say to me, look, if you attack me, then my sons will come down here and it will carry on. We all know that's not how Ty speaks. So what is it that put Ty in that position that Ty had to say that? So it's not just about Sarah. It's anybody. No, I'm just speaking generally. I'm speaking. No, Ty. I'm speaking generally that it's not about Sarah. It's about the issue of free speech within the confines of Speaker's Corner.
I think let us just end on a note that I think we all agree that we're not going to agree on the issue of free speech. That's clear. At least I hope that we are in agreement that if there was any previous grievances between us, hopefully, or enmity, at least from our side.
There was none from me.
Okay, that's fair enough.
There was none from me.
At least that we know where we all stand, that I hope that we can continue in peace from now on. That from now on, if I hear something, I put it on camera as well. If I hear anything from you or Sarah, which I deem to be slanderous or which I deem to be insult, I will walk away. I will not listen to Sarah. In fact, I will make it clear now. I will keep on listening to Sarah because I believe he will not change. I believe he won't change. And I don't believe that we should ask you guys to get him to change because he won't change anyway. Fair enough. So let's just end it there.
Said that after all of the offence.
Let us just end on that note that we agree to disagree, and if there was any previous grievances, we squashed that and we made peace. Although maybe people say that there was nothing to make peace in the first place, but I believe that I apologize for my wrongdoings. I did with people or anyone that took offense to what I said. That hopefully maybe this can be a catalyst for any future agreement between us. And Sarah, maybe he can, if he watches this, that he knows that the best way to say what you want is not by insulting, it's how you say it. I hope if he watches this, he learns this. Because you might have the right to say something, but sometimes it's better that you at least adjust the way you say things for the greater good. The same way Big Bro does it, the same way you do it, the same other brothers do it. That we know that we have a right to say something, however, for the greater cause, not to cause offense to our fellow human beings, we adjust it slightly. And we can still say what we want, it's a critique, but we adjust it. This is wisdom.
Now let me say something. Wallahi, it's not for justification of my actions. Wallahi, is for, as you said, free speech in the park and for the overall image of the park. Inshallah, if Sarah is watching this, bro, please, I invite you kindly to reconsider, to come down to the park and speak to me off camera If you don't want it off camera, we can do it on camera, and it will be free
I
of.
can tell you now, that's not going to work.
Free of.
As I said to you, you're up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Then he shouldn't have aggravated us sleeping lion.
Can I just say to
He
you?
shouldn't have aggravated us.
We have to hold. There's more than one lion. There's more than one lion in the world. You understand? Yeah. There's more than one lion in the world. Let me tell you.
The one that poked me was
Let me tell you. Let me just say to you. We've all been.
I'm saying that, but then you're saying he will definitely say no.
No, but you see,
If he carries on putting videos about me online, like,
I said to you, what I said to you,
what is this like?
what I said to you is that if I spoke between you and
Okay, let's say.
if I spoke to my brother, and I said, and my brother said to me, should I speak to Tawid? I would say no. And the reason why is because I've not seen anything from you today that would conclude me to say go there. And I'll tell you the reason why. Not because you're a coward or he's a coward. I do not want this guy to put his marriage at risk. And hear me a second. I don't want him to put his marriage at risk, his statement of a father at risk by coming down and dealing with juvenile behavior. Sir, let me just say to you, you already have a problem. It's not going to happen.
You can search me for weapons before I go.
It's got nothing to do with that.
I'll even lift my tongue. See if I've got a blade under my
That's the
tongue.
reason why. Your reaction.
I said I'll talk to you away from the park.
Your reaction. I'm telling you.
Be there as a mediator.
No.
You see what I'm saying? I'm here to promote peace.
He's not doing all that shit.
Sorry.
Come on, guys.
But you can say that.
Listen, guys.
Come on now. That's coming.
All I'm saying,
Any man with two fists can fight. Okay, we're not saying that. Of course,
what's the quality of the fight?
look, guys.
Otherwise anybody can fight with
He said he's going to rip my heart out of my chest.
Anybody can fight with
We have done 100. And we didn't arrest him. We didn't arrest him. You see that? One sorry.
Oh, what he said.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Last thing.
Bro, he made a death threat against me. He did. He made a death threat against me. And I'm still standing here saying...
In response to what?
In response to me saying, come and talk to me, I'll confront you. But it wasn't. I never made a physical threat against me.
Leave it there.
I never.
Leave it there. Look, guys.
Even till now, I never made a physical threat against me. Alright, no problem.
Guys,
as I said to you, no, 1 minute please, 1 minute. As I said, me too, I'm going to go over a bit. As I said to you, I'm very shocked, but I'm going to tell you, because I'm not a hypocrite, and I'm going to tell it to your face, to understand, you need to learn to control yourself, because you see, real bravery, hear me something, real bravery isn't a lion going down and tearing up everybody. I'm telling you, sir, hear me a second.
So to say that is quite...
Give me a second. And I've told you that, like, I've seen you being disrespectful to 3 or 4 people in the park on video. But just take my advice when I say to you,
Please tell me who they are.
hold on a second. Hold on. Just hear me a second. Hear me a second. All I'm telling you is, you don't have to take this on. You don't have to take this on board. I always say this, even to my friends. If I'm going to say something, I said I'm going to say it once, and then that's it. I'm going to walk away, and then afterwards, whatever happens, happens. But I'm telling you this: even if you go back and you look at this video, today, because I thought, and I didn't like some of the stuff that Hamid said. I just didn't. I didn't. So I came down here to confront that, to deal with that. However, after being here today, I've now realized that Hamid is not the problem. That's the truth. Do you understand? In Park, I believe that you are. And one of the reasons why... No, hear me. You'll understand. No. Hear me a second and then you'll understand what I'm saying. Hear me. No, hear me. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. What I mean by that is that there is nothing wrong with having that vigor and that zeal for what you believe in. Nothing wrong. Everybody would want someone to have that vigor and to have that zeal. But whatever you say is going to be lost in the fog because of your up and down character. Now, one of the reasons why, because even when you watch the video, like you were this 1 minute, then you were this 1 minute, then you were this 1 minute, then you were this. And let me just say to you, one of the reasons.
No, I'm just smiling.
Let me just tell you this 1 second. One of the reasons why I'm not going to condemn you, totally, is the same reason why I said I wouldn't condemn Mohammed Hijab. And do you know the reason why that is? It's because you're young. You understand? And when you're young, you sometimes have that vigor. I'm not trying to be funny. You sometimes have that vigor and that fight. Let me just say, if I was going somewhere and I know I was going to have an argument, and I could bring a dozen men with me who's 40, or a dozen men with me who's your age, I'd bring a dozen men with me who's 40. You know the reason why?
Second reason.
That's exactly right. With your age, because I was there. But no, you understand what I mean. In terms of that ignorance, nobody here wants to paint themselves as paragons of virtue. You understand? Because I certainly am not, by no stretch of the imagination, am I a paragon of virtue. However, I'm telling you this in terms of words of advice. You can give the most brilliant dawah today in the park. Somebody then watches the upside down nature of the video and they say to themselves, do you know what? There's something which is not quite right. I actually think that Hamid got it right. You understand? And he has now moved over to the winning side. And I'll tell you what I mean by that without being divisive. You know when somebody says that when I see Sarah from now on, I'm now going to go over there. If he's over there, I'm going to completely ignore him. There are some people in life, Mohammed, who rely on the oxygen, who rely on the oxygen of publicity to exist. You understand? And there is no existence without it. I'm saying that if Sarah is over there, he has a right to say what he says. But if you are nowhere near him, if people who believe that you believe are nowhere near him, who then is he going to be speaking to? I'm just asking you. So you might think this is an attack, but if you're clever, when you go and watch the video, you'll realise that this is not an attack at all. This is a next brother. This is a next brother. This is a next brother, because let me tell you this. We all know, apart from the liars and the hypocrites who will say, I'll be jailed, and if anything, don't go to jail and blah, blah, blah. These guys, there's something seriously wrong with them. You understand? Because prison, despite what they tell you, is not a good place. It's not a decent place. It's a soul-destroying place. Why then would you want to put yourself in a position to go somewhere like that? You understand? It's nonsense. It's crazy. That's what I wanted to say.
Listen, I'll take your words of advice. Now, if I look a certain way, the one who I am actually worried about the way he sees me, first and foremost, is Allah the Exalted, the Muslim, the judge. Now, you know what you were saying, bro, about the way I'm going up and down and the fact that I'm being very over emotional, for example, and maybe aggravational, provocative at the moment. Please note again, and I'll say it again, please note that, as I said, there was a time where Sarah was provoking, and I stayed quiet, I stayed silent, and he continued. So this, what you see of me now, is a result of many months. This thing between you and Hamid is only it's a moment. It's a moment. This thing with me and Sarah is like a year, and he's actually weaned off this YouTube glamour. He's weaned off it to try and make an image with me. People know me just as much as they know that I give da'wah. They know me because of the Sarah situation, which I detest. I don't like it. And I've spoken to Sarah a number of times away from camera, and I said, Sarah, please, let me speak to you off camera. I know, you do you, I do me. Okay, if I do me and you do you, why are you then going back online and saying I'm a coward, saying I'm this, saying I'm that? Like, chill out, man. It's because he wanted something before. Allah, I'm telling you, alright, I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. I don't care saying it to you. None of us are perfect. No idea. Thank you. But and I will take your advice. As an elder, I respect that and I take your advice. Because verily, we know even from hadith that Iblis himself spoke the word of haqq to recite Ayatul Kursi from night until morning at one point, and there are variations of this hadith, and the symbolism behind it is to take truth wherever it comes from. It doesn't matter if it comes from a black-skinned brother, or an Asian brother, or a Muslim, or a Kafir, or anything, it doesn't matter. If truth comes, you should accept. And then if truth comes, bro, I swear to God, Allah knows best, I am not here for YouTube fame. I am here towards the truth. I started this when I had a health condition. Sarah came and approached me and he said, I will rip your heart out. He may have been a response.
What did you say?
It's a response of what I said, and I never brought up threat musical. You never ever did.
It sounded like a threat though.
No, maybe it's because I've got strong personality. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Another thing as well.
It sounded like a threat though.
Another thing as well, yeah? Callum himself. When Sarah was over there and Sarah said, oh, you called me a bastard. Mind my language, you called me a bastard. And I turned to Callum and I said, Callum, did you tell him I called him a bastard? In the video I said, did I call him a bastard? Callum stayed quiet, he said, no, I never said it. I said things that I've said on camera today. I said, you're a homosexual, bring the homo to me or the gay to me with Ryan, which is fine. Alright, I said, I'm saying that I said
You can say it's free speech. Listen.
Alright, cool, let me finish off. Let me finish off. No, you're not, she's the one now. No.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm sorry, listen, let me finish.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Bro, listen, I've got nothing personally, wallahi, I've got nothing personally against Sarah. It's the actions of a man that I detest. Just like you haven't got anything personal against me, it's my actions you detest, right? Yeah. Because you don't know me well enough to know what to do. Thank you, it's the same thing, likewise. I've got nothing against Sarah, it's the actions that I detest.
But can I just say the last thing here before we finish? When you're going to say somebody's a batty man, when you're going to say somebody's a batty man and somebody's a homosexual, you know what I said when they said online, and I was actually being very sincere. I said that your language should be very careful, because Sarah was an actor 15, 16 years ago. There are men in the park, who are batty men, who have had numerous men that they've slept with, and you lot defend them when they're down here giving dawah. So I've never understood that you can point your hands at Sarah, who is not a batty man, but you actually have batty man them down here. And don't get me wrong, I'm not attacking any of them down here. I have no right, you understand, to judge another man, you understand. I'm only mentioning it in relation to how you're seeking to judge Sarah. Sarah is a married, heterosexual man looking after his wife and his 2 children. You understand? He is not a homosexual, but they're everybody. He's not bisexual. You understand? He's a heterosexual man.
You're right. I disagree.
You should apologize for saying that.
I disagree. To say what?
You should apologize for calling Sarah a batty man. That's what you should do. Let me tell you the reason why. Let me tell you. And you know the thing is, this does not take away from you, it doesn't take away from you. Just like me, I came down to the park.
No, it doesn't take away from you.
No, it doesn't take away from you. By apologizing.
What did you bring him down?
Let's solve it in person. Away from the park. And you can strip certain, not strips.
We're not into that.
You can start your
I'm just saying to you, the point I wanted to make was a serious point.
Why would you not talk to us in person? Why not? If you're a mediator, listen.
The point, I'll tell you why.
Can
you be a mediator?
You know the thing is,
you can be the arbitrator if you want.
I do not have any social media accounts, and if you remember, I said that I don't actually like the whole filming shit. Leon and them will tell you, I've refused. They've asked me. AR23, everybody has asked me. I've got 2 speaking engagements out of Hyde Park. One in Seattle, one in New York. You understand? I will speak there. All of this stuff. And I was at the Grenfell. The point that I'm making is that most people misunderstand people like myself. People like myself have seen what it's been for people who look like me, my skin color, our experience in this country. That anger that you see doesn't come from out of the clear blue sky. This comes from years and years of constant structural oppression of black people in this country. And I said to you that when we started this conversation, Hamid, I said to you that the racism that I saw in Islam has left an indelible mark on me, and it's left a scar.
You mean by Muslims that you
I have left by Muslims, you understand? The only people who represent Islam are Muslims, you understand? So you can't separate Islam from the actions of of Muslims. No, I'll take that back. From a scholarly point of view, from a scholarly point of view, you can't. You can, but my point is that when we speak about racism, you understand, and that complete subjugation to the ideas, the cultures and the ideals of others, that's one thing. But when you're in there and then you find that the actions of some of these Muslims are the same as the people who are outside in this world, you understand, you say, to hell with that.
Why didn't you come to me or something? Explain this, what the problem was, and we can deal with it.
Sir, because your actions were not conducive.
Right.
I didn't come to you.
Can you from now on?
I didn't come to you with any anger.
I know. But can you from now on? Can you start from the beginning now? If me and you cross paths again, if you have this issue of racial thing, can you tell us what there was so we can deal with it? Please, that's
you know what you were saying, buddy?
I won't do that.
Big bro, you know what you were saying about all of the experiences that you've had in this side? We ain't felt your pain, bro. You know the same way,
as an individual.
You know the same way, look, if he gives me a smack in my face, he doesn't feel the pain you feel, that I feel.
Absolutely.
So, bro, we haven't felt the pain that you felt. No. So you know when you paint us with the same brush because of the emotion that you feel, bro,
it's not because of my experiences.
Of course.
Don't you get it? I'm only telling you what the experience is. And my experience is this, that when I was in the mosque, there were many things which I saw, and I kept quiet. And I kept quiet because it was for the greater God. It was for the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I keep quiet. And you knew that I was Muslim before.
I didn't know.
You knew that I was Muslim
Wallahi,
before.
I didn't know.
Well, everybody does.
I understand.
There's Sunni brothers here. You understand that I used to go to the mosque with. You understand?
Respectfully, I'm not talking to Tala neither. I didn't know you were Muslim.
This is 30 years. 30 years deep. You understand? So I became Muslim in 1981 as a child. You understand? And I'm telling you that my experience of being amongst a great segment of Muslims as a black-skinned man, you understand, is that they are racist, they are disrespectful. Now, be very clear, I didn't say that Islam was racist. I said that there are Muslims,
we agree with that.
There are Muslims that are racist, did not want my company in the mosque. There was a great deal of disrespect. There's a great deal of disrespect that I saw, and I'm saying that, listen, as a grown man, I choose where to put myself. I choose where to put myself as a grown human being. Stand by that. And I'm saying that I choose as a grown man where to put myself. And I'm saying that even coming here, there is nothing that I've seen, since I've started coming back here last October, there is nothing that I've seen amongst the actions of some of the Muslims here, to say that I made the wrong choice.
So you have this baggage on you, and when you see someone,
no, you say that
we came across in the wrong way.
No, I'm saying this. Is that
I couldn't know that.
There is a culture.
I don't know your background.
Look, as a black man,
it makes more sense when you come.
As a black man, there is a cultural appropriation that takes place. Generally speaking, when West Indian black men become Muslims, you understand? Now, be very clear that it's very difficult. You will find, if you look around, there are very few St. Lucian black Muslims. There are very few Barbadian Muslims or St. Vincent or Grenadian. And do you know the reason why that is? If you've never heard before, do you want to tell you why that is? Because their families have not been completely destroyed. When you look, for example, at the Jamaican, for example, then you find that over 70% of our homes are single-parent black women. You will find that the men who are in those homes have a longing, to join on to something that has some kind of meaning in life. Imagine then the amount of us then that have converted to so-called Al-Islam. And you convert to Al-Islam, you then go into the mosque, and the same shit that you saw outside in the world, you go into the mosque and you see that. You understand? And there is a barely concealed contempt. There's a very concealed contempt. That's the reason why you say that's sad, but that's a fact.
You know what I think? Big bro, what I think, bro? I think someone has been pulling that rope with you for so long. Now you've let go of that rope, but you're still holding some rope, bro. Listen, wallahi, I'll speak for myself here, and he can speak for himself. And the Muslims, they can all speak for themselves. Wallahi, I have nothing against black people. I actually come from, sorry.
It's okay, I don't need it.
You sure? Alright. I actually come from a highly populated, dense black area. I grew up with actually saltfish. I grew up with curry goat, jerk chicken around me, and those people and their mums that used to cook it for me. I love it. I grew up with black people. I have a lot of friends who are black. I have friends who are black that come up to me and they say, "Are you caught up in all of this racial thing in the park? Do they think that you're one of these races?" And do you understand? It's mad, bro. I'm not against black people.
I would not even have been Muslim if it wasn't for that many people.
Yeah, you said that, but let me just say to you, and I accept all of that.
I don't understand what you're saying because, like, all my friends have been grown up with black people, right?
So you wouldn't understand because
I'm not saying I understand your situation.
Yeah, you